sectors of politics, technology, law, politics, and government um, within series of parts. This is the first one. This is because there are some challenges happening around life. In one or the other, we are affected by factors around us. We know we normally categorize the factors in the environment into politics, economical factors, sociological factors, and technological factors. Of course, you understand that under politics, we have a lot of them, a lot of other sub factors, which include law, among others. So you understand that it's not even a lecture as such, just a brief element. It is because heads of state decided to embark on a number of issues they had taught in the past or influenced education related to sex education. They taught people about a number of things, including controlling unplanned pregnancy, including sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV and AIDS, and many other things. So the health of states were, to some extent, concerned about whether the education has brought any impact into the society, because they realize that the numbers increase day in, day out, the numbers of unplanned pregnancies, the numbers of infections. So they decided to come up with comprehensive sexual education. Exactly. Uh, that is a broad area of study, because they said maybe it's because education related to things is not so detailed. So they thought, what should you do? Then they had to come up with something like a curriculum that covers number of issues in that. So I will cover just few of those, though it will not be into details here. There's this guy who's called Chris Siliza, editor in general of CNN. On Monday, he said that, okay, Monday of 7th November 2022, he said that people should be vigilant about the potential rise of authoritarian politicians who may wipe out cornerstones like the rule of law for furthering their own political ambitions. He assumes that there are politicians who are shaking the foundations set related to democracy. So he advises us all to make sure that we we pay close attention to those politicians who are politicians. Politicians are people that are key players in decision making, in influencing how things are done in an organization, in governments, in continents, and the likes. So let's highlight what politics and governments refer to. According to Cambridge Dictionary, the term politics is briefly described as activities of the government members of lawmaking organizations, or even people who try to influence the way a country is governed. This brings us to the description of governance. So, governance is about the way decisions are made in government institutions as well as in families. You know, uh, this category is not inclusive. There are it's not exhaustive here. Any structured organization, or so they say, those are related to who makes those decisions, you know, and how stakeholders influence decision making in government. So we can say who has power in decision making, who is accountable for implementation of those decisions. How is accountability ensured? That is government. How is effective representation of the population assured? Because it's not about people leading other people, but um, how can we ensure that this wide categories in the society are that are represented in decision. So governance today says governance is the system by which entities are directed and controlled. Governance influences set objectives, and objectives are achieved. How risk is monitored and addressed, and how performance is optimized. This postulates the element of human interaction in a given society. Social factors are therefore essential in politics and governance. So this means that, like I mentioned, it's not just about sex. This is affected by technology, by law, politics, wide elements in the social factors of social life. Economy affects those. Yes, you understand that sex has numerous descriptions because sex may refer to gender, which may include, among others, the, the categories into males, female, transgender, and others. Okay, yeah. So this is one description of sex. So since this is mainly about maybe let me say sexual intercourse, you understand that life-based sexual education is aimed at helping us understand the sex life and all other things associated, including rape. What constitutes rape? Because some people are being raped out there, but they can't express themselves. Others are being raped, but they don't know what to do. What are the laws related to those? From nation to nation, from society to society, there are some laws, maybe, which guide how sexual activities should be handled or how they shouldn't be handled. There may be some morals in the societies we are referring to now. So this postulates the element of human interaction in a given structured society. Social factors are therefore essential in politics and governance. like I mentioned earlier, heads of state decided to promote comprehensive sexual education or life-based sexual education. In some schools, they are taught those under life skills. Life skills covers wider spectrum because it is not only about comprehensive sexual education. It goes even beyond